Welcome, Magic the Gathering deck brewer. Every respectable Magic the Gathering channel on YouTube has made a MERFOLK deck.
Except here on casual MTG decks.
Yes, that's true, shame on me, but this time after 93 decks, this is about to change. So Nora, get your MERFOLK memes ready, get your Little Mermaid memes ready, because we are going under the sea.
While we're devoting full time to floating under the sea.
Yes, it's finally time to pay tribute to the Lord of Atlantis, to the MERFOLK of Pearl Trident. And when I bought myself a Modern Horizons 2 booster and I pulled a Svyelun of Sea and Sky, well, I knew it was time to build myself a $50 budget MERFOLK deck, so I bought myself some cards on Cardmarket. Now recently I had a chat with the fine people of Cardmarket, the biggest platform to buy your Magic singles and Magic product on Europe, and we're brewing something nice for you in the future. And if you never heard of Cardmarket or you never tried it, well, here is your chance to do it for free. In the description below the video I have a €5 sign up voucher for you. Just contact me, all the info is in the description below. Free, no strings attached. So let's start with the flavor with the basic lands. We only play 22 lands in this deck, and that's because the average mana cost of all cards except for lands is lower than 2.5. Now if this is higher than 3, for example, I put in 24 lands.
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
And if it's even higher, I put in more lands. Now if you put your decks in Deck Stats, that's a site where you can brew, where you can build your decks. It gives in the stats all those details, the average mana cost, which is very useful to know how big your land base would be. Now let's look at the basics in the deck. I went flavorful, I went tropical vibe with these 9 islands, a reprint in Modern Horizons, and 4 forests from Ixalan, the set that gave blue-green MERFOLK its identity. Now this is a budget version, it's a fun MERFOLK deck, it's a good one. It doesn't have shock lands, it doesn't have fetch lands, but we do play some dual lands. I played 3 Thornwood Falls, a Yavimaya Coast and 2 Vine Glimmer Snarls. I also included a Bar Channel pathway that you can also play for its backside as a Tide Channel pathway. Then there's 1 Llanowar Reborn, a land that gives a counter to a creature. And we also have a small counter team, so I included a Novigen Heart of Progress. Now your typical MERFOLK deck is full of creatures that synergize extremely well, and this one is no different. Let's look at the creatures. Our first 2 fish people are green. Kumena Speaker is the usually 2/2 when it attacks, and our 2 Jade Bearers are there to put counters on another MERFOLK. We have more 1-drops in blue. Tide Shaper can be kicked to turn a land into an island, and when your opponent has an island, it gets +1/+1. A Bented Biomonster is our more modern MERFOLK looter, and you can adapt it to make it bigger.
We might go bigger. That's right, it's bigger.
Now a typical MERFOLK deck has a lot of lords to boost your MERFOLK, to make them bigger, and then it's always nice to have some unblockable MERFOLK. Both Mistcloak Herald and Triton Shorestalker are unblockable MERFOLKs in the deck. A Deeproot Elite can get pretty big easily, or you can use it to make your unblockable MERFOLK stronger.
Better, faster, stronger.
And once they have counters on them, you can proliferate, and this MERFOLK Skydiver can help you do this. Now let's look at the MERFOLK lords in the deck.
Permission to come aboard.
I played 2 Master of the Pearl Trident, which is a budget version of Lord of Atlantis. 3 Merfolk Mistbinders and 1 Marrow Regerie. I also play a Coral Helm commander that can level up,
Level up, level up, level up, level up, level up.
and a Merfolk Sovereign. Now the synergy in a Merfolk deck between the creatures is extremely important. So let's look at some fish people who like other fish people. Harbinger of the Tides is a real tempo play, bouncing your opponent's tapped creatures. Silvergill Adept usually draws you a card, and the River Sneak is unblockable and gets bigger when more fish people join the party. Now on to some legendary fish people. Coppola, Warden of Waves, protects your Merfolk. And Kumena is a great defensive card with lots of tricks. She can order Merfolk to become unblockable, draw you a card, or even put +1/+1 counters on each Merfolk you control. Now apparently it could also make a bowl of clam chowder when you tap 10 Merfolk, but the text box on the card was just too small to put that on. Yeah, couldn't help myself. Then of course for 3 mana we have another powerhouse. Here is Svyelun, a Merfolk that's indestructible when there are 2 more fish sticks around, and whenever it attacks you draw a card. And other Merfolk also have Ward 1. Oh yeah, and it's a 3/4. So maybe it's the strongest Merfolk in the deck. What do you think? Now some more green water people. Swift Warden is a surprise defensive Merfolk that gives your team hexproof, and Vine Shaper can put up to 2 +1/+1 counters onto Merfolk. Now, as you noticed, we have a lot of Merfolk that cost 3 mana or less, but we do have a whopping 4 Merfolk in the deck that cost 4 mana. Let's start with this fish guy with some stylish hair. Herald of the Secret Streams has a secret.
Got a secret, can you keep it?
He makes all Merfolk with a +1/+1 counter on it unblockable. And the Forerunner of the Heralds doesn't only have great fashion taste, it also searches you for another Merfolk to put on top of your library, and it also gets a counter whenever a Merfolk enters the battlefield. For the card draw, there is this Seafloor Oracle. Whenever a Merfolk you control deals combat damage, you draw a card. Works great with the unblockable ones. And the last one is a legendary one. Zegana Utopian Speaker is usually a 4/4 that can draw you a card, and it can become an 8/8. Plus other Merfolk with a counter on it also have trample. So a lot of synergies with the creatures, but a Merfolk deck wouldn't be a Merfolk deck without some evil counters. I keep it casual, so I only play 2 counter spells in this list. I'm also playing this bouncing card draw spell called Crashing Tide. And to protect our army of Merfolk, I also play Inspiring Call to give our fish sticks with a +1/+1 counter on it indestructible. And that's...
Maze balls?
That's correct. Now let's finish off the deck with some enchantments. First up, this Primal Empathy, an enchantment that could help with both the counters and the card draw. Then there is this fish stick fork called Bident of Tassa. It makes sure you can draw some extra cards when your friends with fins deal damage to their opponent. And to end our tropical Merfolk deck, 1 Aquatic Incursion. It creates 2 Merfolk and can make Merfolk unblockable. Now on to the Card Market €10 voucher winner. Adam Warnick, congratulations, you win the €10 Card Market voucher. Check out the description below the video to find out how you can claim your voucher. And if you also want to win a prize, if you also want to win some boosters or a Card Market voucher, tell me in the comments below which you think are the 3 most iconic sets.
Sorry y'all, Bram means stripes.
In Magic. I know, a tough one. I'll tell you what I think. For me personally, it's the zombies, the Merfolk, and also the goblins. because for me those were the 3 original tribes which had their lords in the original sets. So if you don't agree or if you have other thoughts, let me know in the comments below the video. You can also subscribe if you really love my channel, and if you do, check out here our playlist of our matches in our gauntlet where we have some cool prizes. You can win secret layers, you can win collector boosters, and if you don't want to do that, you still have to do one thing: make sure to always keep it casual. Bye!